last one that I want to ask you about, and when I got this most recent, and you got a couple coming out, I know where I was. You ever remember where you were? I guffawed, I snorted, I laughed out loud at the title of this issue of Here's a Thought. I looked down at my phone in my email, it comes right in, and it says from Celeste, here's a thought about Hitler. And I go, bah, what? So I had to open it. How often does that happen?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's clickbait to a certain extent, but it's
well done from you. Here's a thought about Hitler. Yes, and then my dog didn't get fed that whole day.
Well, the next newsletter is about dogs, so we'll talk about that.
Right, good, right.
Yeah, because, there's this interesting thing happening, and I went back to sort of trace the history of Godwin's Law. Godwin's Law being came out in 1990, that basically said that the longer that an online discussion goes on, the higher the likelihood that someone will make a comparison to Hitler or the Nazis, right? That's the essential Godwin's Law. And it not only has been basically proven true, but it's morphed and changed over the years to encompass all kinds of other things. But the thing of it is that the guy who created Godwin's Law, Mike Godwin, he created it because he wanted to stop people from making silly comparisons to the Nazis. He wanted to stop people from saying things like, oh God, I barely got any sleep last night. It's like the Holocaust.
I have said that so many times, by the way. I just want to put that out.
Probably as a joke, right?
No, I've never said. Who would say?
I mean, I don't know either, but like people do. I mean, and I put a bunch of
you do. I'm trying to find a couple of. I mean, so many real ones in there that people use. That
a long list.
Like healthcare and the lockdown.
What about the Yankees fans? Like when the Yankees were out of the pennant race, and some of the Yankees fans started showing up at Mets games, at least one Mets fan compared them to the Nazis. He was like, look, it's like, hey, I was part of the Nazi party, but now the war's over and it's all good, right? It's like, no, it is not like that. And so the thing about Godwin's Law, the irony here is that even though this was intended to stop all this, it's actually increased the number of Nazi references and Hitler references, because you not only have the original number, but now you have the number of Godwin's Law references, which makes it even more. So, we get to this point where we struggle even to actually point out when someone is behaving in a fascistic way, right? At this point, it's become so worthless. Talking about the Third Reich is so devoid of meaning at this point that it's almost impossible to actually point out similarities between a current autocratic government and the Third Reich. When you grow up in a Jewish family, they say never forget, never forget, never forget. And the point is to keep your eye out for signs that people may be buying into a line of reasoning that leads to the death of others.
Yes.
And so that's so difficult now.